All right. Good morning, guys. I just got done with my morning cardio. I've been really trying to take a break, have a rest day throughout the week, but it's very hard for me. I have for so long been building up my exercise that it's natural for me to make time to go to the gym. It's so natural for me that I feel like if I don't go, it's just like as if I didn't brush my teeth. Like, you would not leave the house without brushing your teeth. So why would I go on a day without hitting the gym? That's how it is for me. And I've hit a point where it's more beneficial for me if I take at least one day of a break. And today, it's not that I took a completely, a whole day off, but I just went to the gym. I just walked. I did 74 minutes of walking. I was reading, so it was pretty easy for me. And then I did some stretching, and then I went home. So that was my rest day. And when I was younger, I remember that I was learning about my body and fitness and nutrition, that rest was an important part of that process. But as I got older, I think things would change for me and I'd learn new things and other things would become priorities where working out is something I knew that worked, and I continue to do it and I continue to push myself. The way that I push myself and the way that somebody else pushes themselves is two different things, because where I'm at right now, I need to push myself harder in order for my body to change. Where somebody could do the same work that I do and they could get better results than I have because they haven't pushed themselves to that limit. But it's not just about breaking down your body, it's also about recovery. And I've needed things to point me in the right direction and to remind me of that. I recently got a massage where I was told that my muscles had grown in a way to support my body weight because I position my feet outwardly. So naturally, I walk like a duck. Okay. And I was told that because of that, all the way up my leg, my calves, my quads, even my hips are now positioned in a way to walk like that as normal as possible. And as a person who has lifted weights for a very long time, you try and find ways to train better, right? To lift more weight, to be more flexible. But if you're doing it with form that is it's not the most efficient, then you're going to grow in that way. Unless somebody tells you, unless you find out yourself that this can be changed. And I needed to learn how to realign myself, how to turn my feet inwardly and even bring my legs closer. I had more of a wide stance. I can be more shoulder width. And with that, my muscles can grow and readjust themselves so that my legs are working properly again. I can't believe that the simple things like that, those tweaks, are exactly what I need in order to now grow, right? Because I have grown so much over the years and I've progressed so much that now I have to find additional things like what else can I do? Where else can I improve? And these are those ways. I've seen this as well with people and bench pressing. So people get into a position when they bench press, even a position that is not necessarily the most balanced and most stable. And you'll see them shake and lift in a way that they become very limited to how much they can lift. But if you were to change this up, change the form, find a good positioning, limit the amount of movement you're doing, and of course you do want a full range of motion, but it also has to do with how you're lifting. If you were to pull your bench back and you're actually flexing your back to grab and hold the weight, and then and then you push up, what happens is it's a different type of motion than just pulling it back and lifting up, pulling back and lifting up. Those are just like two ways that I have come to know that I could readjust these things. I can make these tweaks to improve myself at this point. I do want functionality. I do want an overall balance in my body. And maybe I didn't want that before because I just wanted to grow. I was overexcited of the muscle growth. But at this point in my life, I just want to work. I want to work. I want to be able to go to the gym, continue to see progress, continue to learn, and not have my body limit me to what I can do with my life. Part of this realignment is doing exercises without any weight, just your body weight. So just doing movements and stretches, because what happens is that we get stuck into this way of putting our weight on certain points of our body, and we don't realize that, hey, it can turn a little more if we put it this other way. It might be a little uncomfortable at first, I understand, but over time it becomes easier and easier. And I have seen that other parts of, like, let's say with my legs, other parts of my hamstrings are working, and my hip flexors as well, so that I could lift in a more proper way. And I'm okay with that. I feel a lot better doing that instead of like overexerting myself and possibly hurting my lower back, which I did recently. If only I knew that, I should be dropping some of the weight and just like focusing on how my body moves instead of, lifting heavier and heavier every time without warming up. Like, I've been doing this for so long, I should know that warming up is important. I actually started doing a plan that Kai Green came out with. It's called the 6-week shred. And I told myself, you know what? Even though I've been working out for 15 years of my life now, I am just going to go by, sorry about that. I'm going to go by what this plan says, and I'm going to follow it to the T as much as I can. And he starts out with cardio in the beginning. I always do cardio at the end, and I've always told people, do cardio at the end, because then you can push yourself with weights in the beginning, and then you can burn yourself out at the end with your cardio. But by doing cardio in the beginning, you're actually warming up your body and your muscles to prepare you for then the workout. And if you are looking to lose body fat, by doing that, you're already like starting your metabolism. You're starting that heat, and it continues on throughout the entire workout. So very beneficial. I'm glad I'm starting it out, and I'm glad that it's working. Like, it feels good. Another part of this is my fasted state. When I decide to do a fast, there's a connection that I have with my mind and my muscles that is not there as frequently when I'm not fasted. Because now that you don't have the food coming in, your mind can connect with you in a way that allows you to notice things better. And when I do these workouts where I'm fasted, and it's usually, once a week or twice a week, I'm realizing, oh, this is what's moving. Oh, this is what I need to adjust. And this is as far as I can stretch, or as much as I can move my body, especially your midsection. Your midsection, your core, right, applies to so many different workouts. But if you are not connected to it, then you're like, you don't have the same want to say something else rather than connection, but maybe flow throughout the body, because certain muscle groups work when you do an exercise, and it flows through your core. And if you're not contracting your core, you're not using it in order to give you, let's say, strength or drive, then you're losing part of this benefit that you could be having. But you need to know how to use it. And sometimes it is that connection, like realizing, oh, this is how it works. This is how my body adjusts, positions itself. And now the lift is better. The weight is higher. The reps are more. That's the whole point of like understanding the connection between your body and between your muscles, and that it's not just one muscle group. It's a lot of muscle groups working together to help you in this exercise. I've had to humble myself and tell myself that there is other ways of doing what I do, even though I've done this for so long, and I've trained many people in the ways that I know. But even at this point, there's still change that can be made. There's still things that we can do differently, or maybe we could just look at it in a different way and learn that, hey, there's a better way of doing this. Maybe we've done these things for so long, but there's another method that would work better. And so as I'm doing my morning cardio, I get all my good ideas. I love organic ideas because they just make the most sense. And I recently had an idea as I'm like running and doing my morning cardio, that my podcast, even though I was just naming it, Kevin Vega Podcast, the idea came to me to name it Confessions of My Morning Cardio, because all my ideas I get are when I have my cardio. And I'm going to continue to share these thoughts with you guys, because it is about clearing up your mind and beginning your day with a different outlook that keeps your life interesting, keeps things much brighter, much more what is the word? Gosh, it's such a good word. If it comes to me, I'll let you guys know. But I was reading a book this morning, and it was called Man and His Symbols, and I've been reading it for a while, but I got a really good message from it this morning, and it was, learn as much as you can about a topic, and then forget it. Forget everything you know, and then do it. The reason why is because when you do that thing, you will approach it in a different way that you never have before, as though it is the first time that you've ever done it. Beautiful. That these things that you can look at them in the gym, if we think about, let's say, a bench press, and forever you've been doing a bench press with your feet on the bench, right? And you've been pressing because maybe you feel it more in your chest. But if you go to this thing, learn as much as you can about it and with it, and then forget it, and you approach it in a new sense, then you might find that a different approach works better for you. And this thing that you did just because it was a habit can be done in a better way. In life, it works the same way. Learn as much as you can in life, and then forget it. And do it as though it is the first time you've ever done it. And things will turn out better. All right, guys, thanks for listening.